Hello everyone, welcome back to the War Room, and today we are going to be reviewing The Shining by Asmodee Games. Prospero Hall is the designer. It is a game for 3 to 5 players, ages 17 up. Now I have a few things to say about that. However, before we start, let me go over what the game is. It's a survival game. It's based on the movie The Shining. You have different rooms from the Overlook Hotel. All right, it's from 2020, so I know this is kind of a little bit of a late review for it, but I got it basically on Halloween, and I played it, and I liked it. It was actually a pretty decent game. It's by no means in any way, shape, or form a real heavy-duty thinker game. It's just more of a small strategy game that you can play with your family. Basically, you're going to get a meeple, and you're going to push the meeple. You get one movement, either adjacent, okay? The little white lines are the adjacencies, right? You can go more if you want to, but if you do, you have to discard some of these tokens. These are called your willpower tokens. Every person who plays gets 13 of them into a community pile, and that is your willpower against the Overlook Hotel's powers over you, right? They're trying to corrupt you to get you to attack each other. So the more you move or the more you go, you have to discard for each movement extra. You get weaker and weaker. So you're trying to, maintain where you want to go. You want to think before you start just throwing coins away. Here's the examples of the coins up here. Basically, what players are going to do is they're going to go into other rooms, and they're going to do whatever the room says, and they're going to try and collect these tokens, because at the end of the turn, they're going to be going through what's called the Shining phase. Now, every turn starts with an event, all right? And you do whatever the event says, but the event also has a little color on the top. It's like a teal there, all right? If the event on the next round is the same color like this one, then you're going into the Shining phase on the next turn. If it's not, if it's a different color, let me see if I can get you a different color here, like purple here, then you go at 3 rounds. So each turn is considered a month, and you could do 2 or 3 rounds in that month, all right? And then once you get to the end of those rounds, you go into the Shining phase where you're going to determine whether or not the Overlook Hotel has overtaken your mind and you try to kill someone. Each player will start with 2 of these Shining cards in front of them. They're going to be face down. There's 2 sides, but you're going to start face down. The numbers under there is going to give you an idea what the strength of this card is. It could be a 2, or it could be a 3. It could be a 1, or it could be a 4. All right. Oh, this one happens to be a 4. This one happens to be a 3. At the end of the turn into the Shining phase, you'll flip these over, and that's the strength of the hotel trying to attack you. So what you're trying to do is collect these tokens to have the amount of willpower to either have equal or more. So that way you aren't the one that becomes possessed. All right. And over time, people are going to go through the areas here. If you go through the elevator, the famous bloody elevator, you have to roll a white die. The white die has an elevator door on it. Okay. If you roll the elevator door, you lose a life. Every person gets 3 of these little coins, these 3 little life coins. You go through the elevator. If you hit the elevator, you lose a life. Otherwise, you're safe. However, when someone becomes possessed, they will attack the nearest person that they can reach, okay? And if it's equal distant, then they pick one. And then they're going to roll dice. If they have any of these tokens, these are willpower tokens, but if they have knives or if they have axes on them and what have you, you'll roll both dice. The black die is whether or not you got hit by the person, but the white die has also little weapons on them. So if that weapon in your hand shows up, that's another extra hit on that person. If anyone dies, not just one, but anyone dies, the game ends for the caretakers, okay? So you're trying to work together to not let that happen. You're trying to strategize your movements. All right, now that's the base game. Oh, I want to point this out too. That's the first player token, room 237. That's awesome. If you're playing the cooperative version, you want to make sure everybody lives. However, if you're playing the corrupted version of the game, and this is where the game gets really, really, really cool, all right, you're going to pass out these roll cards. All right, they're all caretakers except one. One guy is corrupted. All right. If he's corrupted, he wants a caretaker to die. If a caretaker dies, he wins. So he's going to go around the board pretending to be your friend. He may use certain rooms to push other players into other areas, maybe to get them into trouble, maybe to get them to, get possessed and attack each other, whatever. But he's trying to stay quiet. And in the corrupted version, you get to have one accusation. Think like Among Us, the PC game, but you only get one accusation for the entire game. If you're wrong, all of your shining cards will get a +1. All your shining will get a +1 to all your cards that you get. If you're right, and you find out who the corrupted person is, well, now he's the only one that gets corrupted, and all of your willpower tokens get a +1. So you're getting more protection. All right, I think I said that right. Really, really cool game. I got this for $12. It is not a 17+ game. There's nothing really gruesome on any of the cards. The shining cards have little art in them. Here's Jack Torrance in the maze. You do have like a dead body, but it's like art. It's not bloody. It doesn't look crazy. There's Danny Red Rum. Okay, 237. There's the party. Oh, the twins. I hate the twins. Maybe the images might be a little disturbing. I mean, you see a little blood coming out of the elevator, but it's not that terrible. Not for a 15-year-old, not for a 12-year-old. Let's see here. Oh, it is rated 2.09 on Board Game Geek for complexity. That is also not very accurate. I think it's less. This game is actually pretty easy to learn, and we were up and running in less than 10 minutes. It's a quick game, maybe 30 minutes, 40 if you got like 5 players. We flew through this. It's thundering outside. I apologize. But this was a good game. I think that anybody who plays this game, it's a delight. It's not, you're not going to be wasting your time playing The Shining. I think you'll have fun. Is it the first go-to game I would go for, maybe a large game group or a game night? Nah. Maybe if I have a game night where I'm playing a bunch of games at one time, this would be one of them. Really cool game. Check it out, The Shining. I'll talk to you guys later.